We've got an important guest with us now. His name is Steve Moore. Steve, welcome back to the program. It's good to see you, young man. I want to ask you, first of all, do you think we need a rate cut right now?
Well, first of all, this idea that somehow how high the growth rate is should affect, the decision to change rates is wrong-headed. I'm a believer we could get, 3 to 4% real growth with very little inflation. My whole mantra since, that Trump tapped me for this, and I'm not going to be in the seat now, but was, that growth does not cause inflation. Trump believes that, Larry Kudlow believes it, and I believe it. And so, when I look at the situation right now, I'll stick with what I've said for the last several months. The December rate increase was very wrong-headed. The Fed did the right thing, by the way, in reversing course back in January, but they have not, Stuart, reversed the rate increase. They announced they wouldn't raise rates this year, but I think they should go back to where they were prior to December, which would mean I would favor a quarter-point reduction in rates. I think that's what the Fed should have done this week. I just don't see any inflation out there. Maybe, Stuart, you guys see something out there that I don't.
Nope.
But I just don't see it. They're below. The Fed has been below their inflation target now for 4 straight months.
My position on this is it would be nice to have some ammunition, a couple of bullets that we could fire if we need to fire them and the economy slows down.
No, Stuart. Stuart, no. This is wrong, okay? This idea, you're sounding like a kind of Phillips curve conventional wisdom guy. That's, by the way, one of the reasons they didn't want me on the Fed is because I'm not conventional wisdom. I do think out of the box on this. But no, look, I never understood this logic, going back to the summer of last year. Remember, we hit 4% growth. There was no inflation. We had rising wages, low unemployment, and the most beautiful picture you could possibly imagine for the economy. And all the Fed starts saying, well, maybe we should raise rates so that, if the economy falters, we can lower them later. That logic, to me, makes no sense.
All right.
They should be looking at what's happening in inflation. We're below the inflation target. That means we should cut rates so we get back to where we want to be. And by the way, if we do that, I think it'll give a nice lift to the markets and to the real economy. But my God, Stuart, look at the evidence over the last just 10 days. First, we get the 3.2% growth number. Then we get the productivity numbers yesterday, which were off the charts. Today, we get this job picture, which is absolutely beautiful. There is nothing to complain about in this economy. I want to hear what these Democrats and liberals who said that Trump was going to destroy the economy. I mean, what are they saying now, Stuart?
Yeah, I'd like to know that. And by the way, that's the first time I've ever been accused of using conventional wisdom, but that's another story.
Well,
I've got to get to this, Steve.
Blood boiling there, sir. And I almost never disagree with you, Stuart, but on that one, I'm gonna disagree.
Let's deal with this. You wrote this headline in the Wall Street Journal today. Here it is. Quote, "My brush with personal destruction." As you write, you've withdrawn yourself from consideration on the Federal Reserve Board. Here's my question, and it's really your question too. What has your divorce, your personal life, what's that got to do with your take on monetary policy? That's the question that you raised in that article. Answer it.
Look, I'm bummed out. I mean, I'm really disappointed, and I'm not a quitter. I hate quitting. Donald Trump is not a quitter either. He didn't want me to quit. And, it just became so evident that I was never going to be able to get through this because they were looking at things I wrote 20, 25 years ago. I have 2,000 articles I've written. I've been on, 500, speeches I've given, and they're picking out snippets and saying he doesn't like women, he doesn't like this group, that group, and I'm a flamboyant person, so sometimes I get a little carried away in the things I say, and if I've insulted people, I've apologized about that. But what really has bummed me out about this whole thing is when the president asked me to do this, I thought this would be a great platform to talk about what we're talking about. How should the Fed operate? How do we keep inflation under control? How do we grow the economy? The left didn't want to talk about that. They wanted to talk about my divorce. They wanted to talk about things I wrote 20 years ago. And that's unfortunate because, my goodness, I mean, I'm very proud of the role I've helped play with Donald Trump in getting to the place we are now. As I said earlier, none of my critics, from Paul Krugman to the Washington Post editorial board to Harvard people, none of them said this was possible. Remember when Trump said we could get to 3 to 4% growth? They laughed at him. They said, we have secular stagnation. We can't possibly do that. How is he going to do it with a magic wand? Well, maybe Trump
Steve,
has a magic wand because we're in a really nice situation.
I've got to wrap this up because there's a hard break coming, but I rue the day when we take people off the table for a responsible job because of something that they have said or written many, many years ago, which has nothing nothing to do with the job they were for.
Thank you.
Mr. Moore, thank you for joining us this morning.
I totally agree.
And I hope you can come back real soon. You'll be welcome here. Thank you, Mr. Moore. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Stuart.